Hello, amigas cheetahs. Welcome to the Bird Academy. I'm irritated. I'm irritated. I just yeah. Let's just get into it. So I'm gonna just start off with the recoupling, and we'll just go in order from there. First was Jen and Gal. Her and Gal, that was expected. I do think that Gal telling her that, like, yeah, even if we couple up, I will still be talking to Kenzie and getting to know Kenzie. That maybe should have thrown her off a little bit, but who else was she gonna pick? You know what I'm saying? Like, no tea, no shade. Like, when she came in, she automatically said that, like, her type is, like, finance bros, like, funny finance bros. And I told y'all from then, that's a synonym for white. That's a synonym for white. Jen dates white men. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, she was talking to Ronnie and getting to know Ronnie, and it seemed like she kind of liked him a little bit. And sure, I'm sure she did like him a little bit. She liked his vibe. She wants a white man. Yeah. And then, like, with the whole Kenzie of it all, like, as someone who says, like, she's not used to having a roster, right? She doesn't do roster. She's a one guy type of girl. She's actually shown herself to be quite the opposite of that since she's been in here. You know, when she talks about her chats with Dylan, she's always like, I just feel like my aura light up around him. Like, I just feel so amazing with him. I love talking to him. We have such a good connection. I just feel so amazing. And so if it's all of these things and you're attracted to him and you guys have a good connection, why are you getting to know Gal? Why? But we already know Kenzie thrives on the attention. So, like, it's whatever. Anyways, so obviously that was Jen's decision. And then we find out that Caleb obviously also recoupled. He brought over Jaden, right? That's her name, Jaden, I think. Yeah, he brought Jaden back and all the girls were really happy for him. And can I just say, the girls were like, oh, we miss you so much. And can I say that Caleb was the only boy who was over there and said, I kind of miss the girls over at the villa. I really do kind of miss the girls over the villa. And he didn't have a romantic connection with anybody. And he had only been there for a couple of days at that point. And he was the only one. Yo, those girls were in hell. Like, no shade. But anyways, up next was Kenzie. Kenzie gives her little speech, and that is when the saxophones start going off for Mr. Caleb. Yeah. Kenzie immediately starts going off. She's like, listen, like, I thought that we had a pretty decent connection, which, debatable. Like I said, it was purely sexual. It was. Like, let's just call it what it was, please. But she was like, before he left, we had a conversation out on the docks, and he was saying that he was catching feelings and this, that, and the third, all for him to be a lying piece of shit, because as soon as he goes over there, he's talking about Kenzie's out the window. So yeah, bitch, I'm done. And listen, like I said, I'm not Kenzie's biggest fan. Far from it. Okay? Far from it. Very far from it. However, I think that the fact that she saw what she needed to see in that video and immediately locked the fuck in, some of the other girls could take some notes. Yeah. Now, do I think it was easier for Kenzie because her connection with Corbin was like 95% just physical? Yes. But I still respect it. Yeah, obviously Kenzie decided to recouple. She coupled up with Dylan. Then Corbin comes in with his queen, Parmita. Yes. And the girls immediately started booing. I love that shit. Immediately, the girls start tearing Corbin's ass up. Absolutely start eating him fucking alive. And then at some point, Parmita jumps into the conversation. Right? Parmita jumps into the conversation. I think Ariana had asked her, like, oh, Parmita, like, how do you feel? And Parmita was like, I feel confident. All the girls laughing at her and saying, well, babe, you should. And then the girls are chewing Corbin's ass up. And then Parmita jumps in to talk about this whole boys will be boys conversation. Oh, he was just thinking with his dick. He was just around his boys. Like, I beg your pardon? Like, I got her point with, like, oh, like, I didn't know that he was saying all that stuff about Kenzie behind her back or whatever because I wasn't there. But then later, who was she defending? I think she was defending KC. And she's talking about, oh, but I know because I was there. Which one is it, babe? Were you there or were you not there? Do you know everything because you were there, or did you not hear everything? Which one is it? Gave me that weak ass boys will be boys conversation, and the girls immediately shut that down. And all I could think about was, wow, like, Corbin and KC were sitting there talking about how Parmita and Tierra were gonna come into the villa and run the villa. Run shit in the villa. Run whose villa? Run whose villa, bitch? You thought she was gonna come over here and be Big Mama, but all I'm seeing is Big Bird. Babe, all I'm seeing is Big Bird. I just don't understand feeling the need to defend this man, because first of all, you've known this man for 3 days, right? Second of all, this man is hashing out an issue that he has with the woman that he was with for multiple weeks. This actually has absolutely fucking nothing to do with you. You wanted to show your man that you've got his back? Oh, I got your back, babe. I got your back, babe. Girl, sit down. This is where shit started to go downhill for me. Zach and Kata's turn comes up, I believe, was next. Kata decides that despite getting to know Che and really liking Che, she wants to stick with Zach. Was this expected? Yes. I'm still disappointed. Like, that doesn't stop me from being just a tiniest bit disappointed, because, again, I think that Zach is weird. I think that Zach is insecure. I think that Zach also tries to humble Kata too often, and it rubs me the wrong way. I knew Katie was gonna stick beside her man. Like, even despite the whole kissing Alana outside of a challenge, like, I knew she was gonna stick beside her man. And I don't understand that. Like, I feel like oftentimes, like almost every single year, you'll have the girls who move so respectful, right? And the guy will come back after doing everything in the book, right? Doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do. They'll come back and the girl will be like, yeah, I just want you to know, like, I was so respectful to you and it hurts me that you did this, but I'll take you back anyways. Why can't we hold the men to the same standard that we hold ourselves? You know what I mean? If you felt like you should go about Casa Amor in a respectful way, why don't you demand that from the man that you're coupled with? You know what? Like, I don't know. Like, it just always rubs me the wrong way when I hear that shit. Anyways, that was to be expected. Then I think was Trinity and Bryce. They got back together. Ave. Bryce was absolutely miserable. At one point, I think at the beginning of the episode, I think it was Sydney who was like, I'm going to sleep with Bryce tonight and I'm just going to cuddle him because he looks so sad. I want my man to be in Casa Amor miserable. Miserable, just like Bryce, to the point where the bad bitches are taking pity. Like, they feel bad for you. A little sympathy cuddle. Like, damn. At least I hope that's what it was. I hope Sydney was offering like a little sympathy cuddle. Right? I hope that's what it was. Yeah, him tearing up when he got back and being so happy that Trinity didn't ditch him for the black guy. Like, I know that shit was stressing. Him out. I saw that postcard with Trinity cuddled up with Tall, Dark, and Handsome, and he nearly lost his fucking mind. Oh, it was so cute. It was very cute. And I was like, this is what I want to see. The Casa Amor recoupling. Like, this is what I need. I need to feel something. And so imagine I'm on this high, right? I'm on this high. And then it comes overshadowed by the rest of the bullshit that happened in this recoupling. Melanie, babe. Melanie, come here. Tell you something. All the way up until this episode, I fully believed that Melanie was going to recouple with Sincere. 100%, no doubt about it, right? Where I fucked up at was I started to have a little bit of hope because Corey planned a date, and she kissed him outside of a challenge. This is the first time she kissed him outside of the challenge, right? And they had such a cute date. And she keeps talking about how great he is and how this is what she deserves, right? And she highlighted the fact that the girls were moving like birds, moving dumb, delusional, saying like, oh, he could do whatever he wants. But at the end of the day, like, my man knows where home is, right? She called that dumb. She was calling it out. She was seeming a little bit self-aware, right? She almost had it. So then how do we turn around and recouple with Sincere? And of course, Sincere came back by himself, as I knew he was, because the man wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wanted to participate in the boys' holiday. That's really all it is. You know what I'm saying? He was always going to come back to Melanie. We knew. But then Melanie is going to pipe up and start yelling at him and talking about how, yeah, like all the boys were telling me that I deserve better and you was doing this and you was doing that. Like, getting hot with him. And I'm like, babe, hold on. I think you're making amazing points. However, those points were exactly why you should be standing next to Corey right now. I just fear it's not eating exactly the way it should be eating, right? I'm not none of them eating it up because you still chose to stay with him. You're yelling at him, but you're also standing there waiting for him to come join you, babe. So I don't know, like maybe calm down just a tad, So that already threw me off. And then we get to Anaya. I'm not gonna lie, as a black woman, watching her stand there and cry was genuinely heartbreaking for me, especially because she's the only one who's now vulnerable and single. But friend, why'd you choose to stay with that man? Why? I can understand that on some level she probably feels like she needs to stick beside him because of the whole, oh, you never picked me thing that he's always fucking talking about. And I'm glad that everybody told him, like, that was week 1. That was day 1. We didn't fucking know you. And since then, she's picked you every single day after that. I understand that might have played a part in her decision. I also think that she wants to be with a black man. Like, her saying, oh, I want to be with fine shit. And Trinity telling her, like, yeah, like, go back to your fine shit and keep looking dumb. Like, like, I think fine shit is code for you want to be with a black man. And that's fine. But this black man in particular is playing in your face. Like, the signs were there. And then the girls are all chewing him up. And then here comes TT coming in, Captain Save-A-Ho, trying to defend KC. For what? Trinity rightfully takes that moment to call out an issue that she has with KC because he was speaking on her couple. For some reason, TT feels the need to pipe up now, jumping in the conversation to defend KC. Mind you, he's a grown-ass man. And Trinity is like, listen, girl, respectfully, like, I'm talking to your man. Shush, man. And TT keep piping up, oh, are you going to make me shut up? Bitch, are you trying to fight? Like, what? Like, trust, mama. It was never that serious. And then she's there trying to little girl Trinity, calling her a little girl. Her and KC were born the same year. So maybe let's calm down with that. All I keep thinking is, once again, like, this is who y'all said was going to come in and run the villa? Not Trinity's villa, babe. Not Big Trin. I'll never understand the concept of jumping in to defend a grown-ass man. I never seen no shit like this in my life. Now you on smoke with the girls behind KC? Pack him up. I'm irritated. Of course, KC was standing there eating that shit. Let me tell you something. KC's ego is something to be studied. I actually am going to have to make a whole separate video just talking about, like, psychoanalyzing that loser. He gotta go. And bring Carl back. I know Anaya regrets her decision. Please bring Carl back. And Anaya, don't play like that again. Please, I'm begging. Yeah, I need a minute. My blood pressure's getting high. We'll talk later.